to get life insurance in America, you have to get a blood test and you have to get tested for various diseases. And the test came back and the guy said to us, we can't give you insurance because you have some sort of hepatitis. At that time, it didn't even have a name. So I was pretty shocked because for me, I always heard about hepatitis was you're very sick and you're in bed and you have this fever, and I didn't have any of that at the time. When the symptoms came on, it was very slow. I started feeling lots of fatigue. I started having balance problems where I would get very dizzy. And I started having muscle cramps all over my body, very bad cramps, especially in my hands when I would play the guitar. I lost almost 60 kilos of weight. I had a thing called ascites, which is where your abdomen fills up with fluid. And I would go in and every week or 2 weeks, and they would put a drain in my abdomen, and they would take out 12 liters of liquid. Before I would go on to play a concert, I would be sitting in the dressing room just almost asleep and like, how am I going to do this again? And then they would announce my name and I would go out on stage and I would do my very best and I would try to get energy from the crowd. And but it was really kind of terrifying every night to go on stage. I determined that I would do one more record, one more album, and that would be sort of my goodbye. The album is called The Blues Came Callin', and I have a hard time listening to it because I hear myself on there, I'm dying. It was very difficult to do. It was a lot of work to do that record, so when I hear it, I hear a man who is dying. Now there is one song on there that I think is probably the best song I've ever composed, and that saved the album for me. And it's called The Bottom of the River. And one day my wife, Marie, said to me, with this fluid that's in you, it's almost, and you can't breathe, it's almost like you're drowning. You're literally drowning. And I got this image of a man who falls into the water and the current pulls him under. He sees the light above him and he can't get out. He can't fight against the current.
I went out on the river, way outside of town. I fell into the water, the current pulled me down. It held me on the bottom and I could not hear a sound. I was lost in muddy water and I thought that I would drown.
He decides that he's not going to die and he's going to fight. And he fights the current and he fights his way to the air, to the surface. And he's gasping for breath and he finally crawls up on the shore. And when he gets to the shore, he sees the beauty of the world in a way that he's never seen it before. And he has survived. So it was a hopeful song. Here in Denmark, you can get The Cure. It's free. You don't have to tell anybody about it. It's between you and your doctor. But the important thing is that you get tested, because even if you're not showing symptoms now, someday it's going to kick in. Someday it's going to take control of your liver, and then your life is going to become hell.